Hey guys, welcome back to another severe weather update with your YouTube meteorologist Josh Patterson. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hopefully, if you're in the path or if you know anybody in this path, you guys are all safe. It's They had an update and it's looking like it's a really big deal. We'll see though. There was a lot of convection this morning, so that might have zapped the atmosphere around in Alabama. So we'll see it, but there could be some really severe storms in this area right here. As you can see, they've got the moderate risk out. Now, something I want to show you, they've increased the slight risk pretty good. They've increased the enhanced risk all the way out to Houston. Houston this morning had some storms around there. I saw another YouTuber, Thor News, said that there was like a tornado warning for Houston. There was like hail reports up here, like near like Tyler, Texas. So it's been active this morning. It's only going to get more active as we go through the evening through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So if you're in like the southern parts of these states, you know, really keep your ears perked. I can't stress that enough. I guess the consensus is that there could be like EF 2 to higher tornadoes today in these areas, so definitely watch out. I'm going to show you a little simulated radar here in a second. Let me show you the probability for tornadoes real quick. So here, I'm going to zoom up the best I can zoom up. So that is not a 5%, contrary to what you might think at very first. That is 15. There's a line right on the one. That's 15%, and it's not just your ordinary 15%. It's a hash mark 15. And basically that just means a really intense 15%. I mean, heck, if you have a 5%, that's a big deal for tornadoes. Like if a state like California or like Utah gets a 5% for tornadoes, probability, like over here, that's a huge thing. I mean, 2% for that matter. But not only 15%, but a hash mark. That's telling you that it's especially big chance for tornadoes. And there's also a 10% mark, as you can see by the color scheme, and that's hash marked as well. 10% hash mark. So basically, this is like the yellow hash mark is like the equivalent of a 15% without a hash mark. This is like the equivalent of like something near to like in between, at least in between the 30 very high risk and the 15. So the hash mark is like not even just a regular 15. It's an enhanced moderate. If you want to, it's an enhanced moderate threat basically. But we will see. We will see. Like I said, there was some convection like in this area this morning. It was like taking down trees in Alabama and stuff. This was like early this morning. So we'll see how much the energy has in the atmosphere, how much the atmosphere has. In these areas, it is plentiful though. You have wind shear coming up out of here because there's a jet coming through due to the low pressure that's coming across this area. And then you have the Gulf of Mexico moisture streaming in, and you have lower winds aloft. It's all coming together, so it's really hard for it to be a bust in these areas. Now, if you talk in a state like California, Arizona, or New Mexico, in the Southwest, desert Southwest, or maybe even anywhere up in here in the West, it's easy for things to get zapped, moisture to get zapped, the atmosphere to become used up. But like down here, especially in this Dixie Alley right here, man, they call this Dixie Alley. If you did not know that, I'm gonna teach you guys that today. They call this Dixie Alley for a reason. They did not just name it because they were bored one day. This is Dixie Alley, and this is one of the there's two notorious tornado zones, but this is one of them. And in Dixie Alley, it rocks. So it gets rocking and rolling. Let's basically say that. So it's hard for the atmosphere to get zapped out because wind shear, and like dynamics make up for that. When you don't have wind shear and dynamics, like let's say Arizona monsoon, which I also track and will be tracking going forward once it starts in like June. But if you look at the Arizona monsoon, it just flashed on me. If you look at the Arizona monsoon, that's just moisture that comes up from Mexico, and it's a reversal in seasonal wind. So Arizona monsoon is a reversal of seasonal wind that flows. The wind stops flowing from here, see my cursor, it stops flowing from here and here, and starts flowing from here, here, and here. And that's a moisture influx because you have this out here. So it starts coming in from these areas into Arizona. That's just a moisture influx. It literally all is just the heat, the steering winds drawing the moisture in, and a thermal low around about Yuma, Arizona, which is located right here. That's all that is. And so when they have thunderstorms, you have a thunderstorm one day. The next day it will be a blue day all day. Maybe you'll have a distant dust storm, but it will be a blue day all day because that energy is used up. Over here, though, my dude, this time of year, my dudes and gals, I should say, they have constant dynamics that comes through. Low pressure strengthening, low pressure approaches, moisture and heat building, cool influence to the north edge, wind shear coming off the upper and middle level jet winds, creating columns of air which create tornadoes. Because when you have when you have air going this way and that way, like I said, it's like a spinning top. You go, and so all that stuff it's all prime for this area. But let me not go on. There's a 15% chance, hash mark 15% chance of tornadoes. That's like the equivalent of, it's like the equivalent of literally like a 60 or 70% chance for tornadoes. It's high. It's high, guys. If you look at the wind threat, so you got changed it. The wind threat is a 30% hash mark for central to eastern Louisiana, north central and eastern Louisiana, south central to south Mississippi, south central and just southern Alabama, and about south central western Georgia. Well, basically it's a 30 in there, but if you really do look at it, they have a 46. They've got a 46 right there. So actually, they have a really big probability for wind. So watch out if you live there for wind. Hail, now it's opposite. It kind of switches over. Yeah, you have 50% chance of hail over here. If like New Mexico had that, that would be huge. But they're used to this here. But this is a hash mark 30%. That is big. If you live in Louisiana, central Louisiana, south central Mississippi, and very extreme eastern Texas, it's getting blurry on me. Definitely watch out. So that's Houston. That's I don't really know southeast Texas states that well, but yeah, Monroe, Louisiana, and Jackson. I can give you one city in each of those few states right there in those areas. Houston, Monroe, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I mean? Same places in Mississippi, might I add, that got that big tornado last Sunday on Easter. So, I'm gonna show you something. I'm not trying to make this too long, really. I'm gonna show you what's going on with a local radar, though. Yeah, I know I can get copyright for that. That's 12 News. That's 12 News. This is 12 News radar, by the way. I do not own this at all. This is not mine. Of course, as if I had to say that, but still, YouTube be that way. But yeah, this is just a radar I use that is provided by the 12 News site. Let's see. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna probably end this potentially semi-unexpectedly, so just don't be surprised, guys. But anyway, here is what's going on right now. You've got some storms popping off. I'm gonna press the play button, but let me take a look in just to basically as a current. Now, I don't know how current this is. 125. Yeah, it's decently current. So you've got some pretty decent storms here. This is concerning me right here a little bit, just because I started to last Sunday when the big old tornadoes went through this area in Mississippi. I started to see things like this, where you see a little tail spiraling down like that, and things just start to move this way. When things start to bow echo hook like this, when you see that on a storm, watch my finger. When you see this kind of shape, or like that or any kind of like a bow echo like that, like almost like think about like a Cheeto puff or like a comma. When you see that and they're moving this way, that's a really bad sign. Left to right when they're moving, you know, because that unless they're moving like this, it's a bad sign. Moving like this, that means they're rotating and they're really that's strong rotation. And the more longer it moves like this, the more the more intense, the bigger, and the more dangerous they become. Basically, guys, this is what I want to show you real quick. So this has been the radar simulation this whole morning. This is how it's looked, and let's see. So yeah, so you can see north of Alexandria, these big storms that popped up in like Lufkin, Texas. See some of these signatures right here. Those are like those storms are rotating. That's kind of like when they look like that. When they don't just look like a line, but they kind of look like they're dancing, like d d d d d d d d. They look like they're dancing. When you see that, that's a good sign of rotation. Basically, last thing I'm gonna show, severe weather. So this is for Jackson. Severe weather is likely today and tonight. Tornadoes likely. This is from the National Weather Service, by the way. This is not my own. I don't claim this at all, of course. National Weather Service. Enhanced risk, so moderate risk. Tornadoes likely, some possibly strong. Damaging winds 70 miles an hour. Large hail up to tennis ball size. So that's big, guys. So that's for like south central Mississippi. So Jackson, you've got like a STP of 4. Multiple rounds possible through midnight. I guess they're saying north of this line and south of this line 2 p.m. to midnight. I don't really actually get that, but all I know is it's going to be a nighttime thing, guys. Really be cautious because nighttime storms are really dangerous. This is just another update. I just wanted to kind of just show you guys how this is escalated. So as you can see, just the categories here. So the most ones at risk today: Montgomery, Alabama; Columbus, Georgia; Jackson, Mississippi; Macon, Georgia; and Albany, Georgia. I had a viewer, I forget your name, my dude. Sorry if I forget your name, but you asked me for an exact forecast because you live in South Georgia. I forget. It was your name might have started with a C. All I know is one of my viewers asked me for an exact forecast for South Georgia. Well, here you see South Georgia, just so you know. So whatever you live in here, yeah, you probably need to be aware. As I just listed off some of the cities. And then in the enhanced, you have Houston, Texas; New Orleans; Baton Rouge, Louisiana; Mobile, Alabama; Tallahassee, Florida. So it goes all the way out to Florida, guys. Well, the Panhandle anyway. So, yep. And I meant to do this. There's a moderate risk of severe thunderstorms across parts of Louisiana into southern central Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Summary is a severe weather outbreak is expected across much of the deep south through tonight, with the greatest threat from East Texas and the Delta region eastward across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Multiple episodes of thunderstorms will likely result in several tornadoes, some strong, with widespread damaging winds and large hail. So, guys, can't stress it enough. Be cautious. Be safe out there. Hopefully you guys like this update. Just don't forget to share with your friends, your family, just so that you get the word out. Share it on your social medias. And yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video.